Hello, welcome to Kartograph basic tutorial. My name is Juan, I'm the creator of this asset, and I'll take you through the basic setup for Kartograph procedural level generator. Now, what is Kartograph is something that will take your creations as a game developer, sections or pieces of a level, and will assemble them coherently into a map. So let's start with the basic one. This is a blank scene. I've already set up a bunch of sections, but I'm going to be building different sections on this tutorial. So first of all, let's create an empty, and this will be our level generator. And we'll add a component that is the Kartograph level generator. Now you can use 2D or 3D. For this specific tutorial, we're going to use 3D, but 2D is very, very similar. Now once added, we have a bunch of setup to do here. For example, generate on start, we can set up that as true. That this means the generator will generate the level automatically. If you leave this one unmarked, so it means the bool is false, and it means that nobody will call the generate method on this generator. Let's randomize the seed as well. So we want to see a bunch of different levels. So seed, you can force a number here, and what that means is that it will create the same level over and over again. Section container, so this is important, but you don't have to set it up. But basically, it's what transform are all of the level sections going to be child for. And then we have max level size, which means how many sections. And then we have the order, which means how far can we get from the first initial section, right? Now we're going to get into ends and sections in a while. And then we have the initial section tags and the special rules, okay? Now to start with our section building, we're just going to click this button, new section. I will create our template, all right? This is already included in your Kartograph package. What we have here is a section template for 3D maps. Let's put in here, and let's say that this is called tutorial room. Let's build, I already have a bunch of blocks here for my building purposes, so it's highly recommended that you also do this. But you can do it as a single mesh for every room. That's okay. So let's go for dungeon, and let's start building this section. Now keep in mind, it's very important, the main node, which is tutorial room, it has a specific icon attached to it, which is the diamond, right? So the teal or sky blue diamond here. So that marks the entrance of our room or our section. It doesn't mean if it's a room or a corridor or however you want to call it, right? So it's very, very important that we build our room keeping in mind that this 0, right? So this coordinate is going to be the entrance of the room. So with that in mind, let's build a room. I already have these blocks for building my rooms. You can build your own set. I recommend a bunch of free assets in the internet like Can-A and stuff you can find in the Unity asset store. Just keep in mind, just try to build everything so that it's modular and you can easily build all of these sections. So let's start with the floors. Keep in mind, this is the entrance. As you may have noticed, I haven't covered all of these walls, and that's actually because they are going to be our exits and our entrance, right? So once more, I'm still missing one wall. And now let's place an entrance. That's it. And then our exits are going to be this and this one, right? So what it means that when another section is generated, it's going to use the arch of that entrance to place here. Okay, and that is 100% optional. If you don't want to have an arch, that's fine. It's just going to connect like this. That's fine. That's completely optional. And if you want some more decoration, you can have a bunch of things. What's next? Okay, let's place the exits, right? First of all, exit 1. Let's just align it to the grid and move it. All right, so keep in mind, blue arrow means forward. It means that the section that is going to be built here is going to be built exactly the same way this is placed, right? So it means that you can actually do some 45 or even like any angle you want, but it's important to keep the exit pointing the way it should go, right? So same with this, and we're going to rotate this until the blue arrow is actually pointing outwards. All right, so that's our section. What is now left? Of course, the information to tell the engine that this room takes a certain amount of space. For that, we use bounds. You can actually have a bunch of boxes in the bounds. You can build like, let's say for this one, because if we do like something like this, for example, let's just, and it's extremely recommended that you don't use scale or transform. You can use the transform of the box, but it's strongly recommended that you don't use the scale, but you actually use the size of the bounding box, of the collider, right? So let's place this one. Let's place it like around the middle points. That would be 4 units. And when it comes to the Z axis, is going to be so 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, meaning that that is going to be our bounds. And we still have this little guy, so let's do something like this, and that's it. So you can do this, which means that no other section is going to be possible to be built like overlapping this entire box, and that's fine. But if you want to be extremely precise, you can do something like this, which would be something like 4 by 4, and then you just add more boxes, right? And you just move them around so that it takes up the space it should take. So something like this. Maybe you don't care about this box, these corners there, but yeah, those would be your 2 bounds altogether. This would be the the bounds of the section, right? So with this one, we can go ahead and go to our prefabs, our section prefabs, and just save this tutorial room. There's nothing else that we need to do here. So let's save the tutorial room, and just for the sake of moving this tutorial along, let's use the corridors we already have. So to give you an example, so this is a corridor. As you can see, the entrance is here and the exit is right there, and this is just a corridor. Same, another corridor, and that's it. Now let's use our tutorial room as an example. Let's go back to the Kartograph scene, and we have our level generator. Now, something that is very important is that we haven't given this the properties, right? So a section needs to have a tag and a create tag, all right? At least one. So let's say that this is a room. This could be just a room, and that's pretty much it. And then we say, okay, this room can create corridors, and then the corridors will create rooms, right? So that's the idea. Now the end chance here, the end chance, it's chance over 100, which means how often does an exit becomes an end instead of another section, right? So the ends, it's the other part of the generator, which you can actually create one just by clicking here, new end, and you create the end template. For sake of this tutorial, I already have an end wall here, which is basically similar. We have an end script, and there's a bounding box, which pretty much works the same as the other one, right? And then that's pretty much it. So as I was mentioning before, these exits, right, they are left open. So if there's no possibility of generating a room here, either because there's something in the way or because you already reached the order, right, the max amount of size of the dungeon, you have to put something here to close off the exit. So the ends are actually meant to be a closure for these open exits. Okay. Let's go back here to the level generator and let's start building this. So we know we want to have rooms, right? And we also want to have corridors. So just for starters, let's say we have on the sections, on the ends. We are going to say, okay, you can have this end, right? Just one end, that's fine. And then we'll try to build a level with just one tutorial room and one corridor, and that's fine. Let's do corridor 7, that's fine. And let's just edit this, there you go. So corridor and room, and that's pretty much it. And then we have room and corridor. That's it, right now. So we're going to set up 2 sections for now. We're going to say that this is the tutorial room and then the corridor 7. Right. So we already have almost everything that we need. We need something very important, which is the initial section tag. This means which tag are we going to use as our first section, right? So we're going to input room. So the only room that this generator knows is the tutorial room. So it will create a tutorial room and then corridors around it, and then more tutorial rooms and then more corridors, and that's pretty much it. Let's say that it can have up to 100 sections and 10 sections from the start to the end of each path, right? So let's just save the scene and press play. We have a level. Okay, we have a level. So now, as you can see here, we have an issue, right? We have an open entrance that has never been taken care of. That's fine, and that's why we have the initial section tags. So this means that we need another type of room, right? And we can use the tutorial. That's fine. So this is going to be tutorial seed room or start room. Let's say start room. Okay. So this tutorial start room is going to be our start room for this dungeon, right? And the most important part is here start, right? And then instead of having this archway here, we're going to have an exit. We're going to create another exit here. And remember, we have to turn it around so that it's facing outward. And we actually, you know, just for fun, we're going to do this. We're going to add a couple of, a little bit more variation. The one thing that is important is that we need to create another exit here, right? And there you go. So the role of this room is going to be, the role of this tutorial start room is going to be the start, and it's going to generate corridors. Those corridors are going to generate other rooms, right? And finally, we haven't set up the bounds for this, where we actually have set up some sort of bounds. We're going to duplicate this and just place it here to adapt it to the new shape. So that would be 6 here and 2 here. And I think that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's fine. Right, so we save this prefab. We have already a prefab here. We're going to load the prefab into the section prefabs collection. And we're going to say that the initial section tag is going to be start, right? Now, remember, corridors will only generate rooms because how we set up these tags, right? So corridors are going to generate rooms and rooms are going to generate corridors, but the first one, the start room, is going to be created just once and is going to generate corridors. So once again, let's press play, and we have a new level. Okay, we have a new level. This is the starting room, as you can see. Start room is this one, and then it's sprawling all around and making different things. Okay, now when you start combining, when you start creating more and more type of sections, that's when you get the variation that you're looking for, right? So for example, if I go and add all of these sections, let's just reset this array and let's forget about the tutorial ones, and we're just going to take this into the section prefabs. And if I remember correctly, this one actually is the different tag, right? It's not start, it's seed. There we go. So now we have a seed here. And if we go around and say press play, we're going to have a very different level, right? Different sections. Even there are sections that are angled at a 45 degrees, and as you can see, it will never overlap. It will always take in consideration the bounds. The bounds, as you have seen, are colliders. They are set as trigger, but as soon as the generation ends, they get deactivated. So don't worry about those colliders interfering with your game code. Okay, so this has been the basic tutorial for how to use Kartograph. Again, thanks for downloading the asset. And if you have any concern, any question, you can always contact me. There's all of the information in the page of the asset as well as the description of this video. Thank you very much.